Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your college football top 25 video for Week 8 this Saturday, October the 21st. We have 4 head-to-head top 25 matchups, and as I do every week, I'm going to give you a couple bonus games as well, games that are just a bit outside for making the top 25. So 6 games, 6 of the biggest college football games analyzed with my proprietary game simulation power ratings and also my matchup analysis. I'll let you know 6 games and make some money this Saturday, Week 8 of college football. Hey, by the way, I have 3 great all sports, all access special offers on my page right now with promo codes. Not going to waste your time here going over all of those, but please check out my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. I have a 7-day, a 30-day, and a 1-year all access, 3 different specials. You can pick the one that works best for you and get all my all sports best bets for as low as $3 a day. Football and baseball is here. NBA basketball starts next week. Check out those all sports specials right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, we've got a lot to go over, so let's get rolling here. We'll start with the first game and the biggest game of the week. You don't have to wait long at 12 noon Eastern on Fox National TV this Saturday. Number 7, Penn State travels to number 3, Ohio State. And right now, as we head closer to the weekend, I'm doing this video on Thursday evening. Ohio State's about a 4.5-point favorite at the Wager Talk live odds screen. I am seeing some 5s start to pop. And those that joined us earlier this week on the Tuesday College Football Show here on Wager Talk TV knows I used a free play on that show on Ohio State -4. It then went up to 4.5 on Wednesday, and it looks like it's climbing even higher. I agree with that move. There is still value as my 10,000 game database simulation has Ohio State winning by 9 points on average. So I do think this line is too short, and there's several reasons why it's too short. First of all, both teams are 6-0 straight up, but Penn State is 6-0 against the spread this year. They've been the best moneymaker in college football, not just this year, but the second half of last season, they finished on a 6-0-1 run. So over the past year, going back for a year now, Penn State has yet to fail to cover its point spread. They've gone 12-0-1 against the spread the last 13 games dating back to the middle of last season. And for that reason, the odds makers are forced to lower this spread too much. Also, Penn State looks like ding, 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 a public underdog this week, looking at the consensus data as well. So I like Ohio State with the line value, and I also like the situational setup. Ohio State's played a tougher schedule. They had both Notre Dame and Maryland a couple weeks ago. And despite that, they're still getting up just 9.5 points a game, just 4 yards per play on the season. You know, last year, Ohio State was a double-digit favorite at Penn State and won by 13. And they're a better team this year and a much better defensive squad as opposed to the recent years in which they've given up over 20 points on average, given up just 9.5 this year. Yes, Penn State's a good defense, actually a great defense, 8 points a game, 3.4 yards per play, but they're not as good offensively yards per play wise. They put up a lot of points against the weaklings, but they don't throw the ball as well. And overall, they don't move the ball as well as Ohio State. 7 yards per play to just 5.5. I like the Buckeyes here. They're the better overall team, and we get a discounted price on top of that. Take a look at Ohio State minus the 4.5 on Saturday afternoon. All right, the next big game, a next top 25 head-to-head matchup this weekend goes at 3:30 Eastern on CBS in the SEC. Number 17, Tennessee against number 11, Alabama. And once again, my database simulation favors the home team here, favors Alabama by 11.5 points. So I do think this line is a bit too short. As we check the Wager Talk live odds screen on Thursday afternoon, Alabama is currently just an 8.5-point favorite. And very similar to the other game, Penn State, Tennessee is looking like a very public underdog this week. And that is why this line is too short. You know, fading the public works long-term because we get line value. And I think this is another situation of that. And I know Alabama's looked challenged on offense this year, and that is definitely true. But they're still a really good defensive team. They allowed just 16 points a game, just 4.5 yards per play. Tennessee's given up almost identical numbers on defense. The difference, though, is that Alabama throws the ball a lot better. I know that sounds strange because last year Tennessee had one of the best passing attacks in college football, and this season Alabama has been challenged at times. But on the season, Alabama is still averaging 9.5 yards per pass attempt. Tennessee is averaging just 6.8 against teams that allow 7.4. And now they're facing a much better Alabama defense. So I do think Tennessee is going to struggle to throw the ball in this game. And when they get behind, it's going to make it more difficult to catch up. And I do believe Alabama will pull away. Once again, my 10,000 game database simulation has Bama winning by 11.5 on average. So I think we get some line value with Alabama in a good situational matchup as well, minus the 8.5. All right, 2 more true top 25 matchups. Both are on the nighttime card this Saturday. Number 16, Duke at number 4, Florida State at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. And this game is tricky. Duke's quarterback is questionable. He missed last week the NC State game. And yes, they won easily 24-3 as a 4-point home favorite. but they did not throw the ball well. 4 completions in the entire game. The backup was 4 for 12, passing 107 yards because of a big play. It's very misleading. They didn't have to throw the ball last week. That's not going to be the case here. So we really have to keep an eye on the injury report. And as of Thursday afternoon right now, we still don't have a solid answer if Riley Leonard will play or not for the Duke Blue Devils. So very difficult to project this game without the quarterback knowledge. If he does play, I don't think he's going to be 100%. So either he's out or he's not fully healthy. So either way, that's going to be a real blow for Duke, as they're going to need to throw the ball better this week. However, they do qualify as a good defensive dog. On the surface, they're allowing just 10, actually less than 9.8, less than 10 points a game, and they're getting 14.5 here. So that does catch your attention. And I think it somewhat coincides to the under as well. Duke and the under probably somewhat correlated, as I just don't see them winning a shootout. They're going to have to win a low-scoring game. Database simulation, 14.5, which is exactly the point spread. Once again, though, I would make that higher if Leonard is unable to play a quarterback or if he's not fully healthy. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But as of now, I don't see a lot of value in this game. It's pretty much right on my simulation. All right, the final true top 25 matchup goes at 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Number 14, Utah against number 18, USC Southern Cal. Last week, my clients and I at WagerTalk.com cashed in easy with Notre Dame. Blowout best bet winner in that game, 48-20. Everybody had written the Irish off. And keep in mind, I faded Notre Dame the week before with Louisville here on the video and on Best Bets. And last week, I came right back and I recommended Notre Dame right here on this video and also for my clients. This week, it's an interesting setup because my simulation does favor USC here by 9 points. Currently, by the way, the Trojans are only a 7-point favorite. It's on that key number. So I do think the line has been reduced a little bit due to the fact USC got blown out last week. It's only one loss, though. They're not totally out of the national title picture yet. It was a major blow within the Pac-12 conference and their national title hopes. So the question becomes, does USC show up this week? I think they do, for a main reason that this is a huge revenge spot. And revenge in general, I think, is a little bit overrated in college football, and we use it a little bit too much in our analysis. But here's a legitimate revenge spot. USC last year lost only 2 games all season until their bowl loss against Tulane. And keep in mind, they didn't show up in that game. They weren't focused. But their other 2 losses before that were both against Utah. In fact, Utah kept USC out of the national title hunt last year. They kept them out of the playoffs for sure. And they are also the only team that outgained USC. In fact, USC even outgained Tulane in that bowl loss without full focus. The only 2 games in which they were outstatted, outyarded were the 2 Utah games last year. So obviously Utah matches up well, but they're a much weaker team offensively. They've had the quarterback injury all year. There's still a lot of uncertainty at quarterback going in this week, and they have struggled to throw the ball. 1.5 yards per pass below average when you factor in opponents played. And yes, USC has been challenged defensively this year, but after factoring in that strong Notre Dame offense last week, on the season, they're giving up 5.7 to offenses that average 5.8. Utah is only averaging 4.9. So I do think USC can slow down Utah in this game, and they're a much, how many muches? 4 muches, much better offense this year, averaging 3 yards per play more and almost 3.5 yards per pass more than Utah. So I think USC at -7 or less actually has some value here, and this line's been reduced a little bit too much based on last week's result. All right, those are the 4 true head-to-head top 25 matchups in college football this week. There are 2 other games in which we could get a team into the top 25 next week, so I wanted to talk about these 2 bonus games. I'll get to those in a moment. Quick reminder, I've got 3 all-sports, all-access specials on my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, a 7-day for $69 with promo code PASS7, also a 30-day for $199, no promo code needed, or the best deal of all, I still have my 1-year, 365-day all-access. You see those promo codes on the screen right now with promo code SM365. That gets all sports down to $3 a day. That, of course, is college football, pro football every day, the rest of the baseball playoffs into next season, and then basketball starts next week. The NBA is here in less than a week. College basketball around the corner. Great time to try an all-sport, all-access special, whether you want a 7-day, a 30-day, or that 1-year all-sports, all-access. Now is the time to get it because I have special discounted prices on all 3 along with special promo codes. Check out my page. Once again, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, I gave you the 4 head-to-head top 25 matchups. Let's quickly on the way out here look at 2 bonus games that were just a bit outside. At 3:30 Eastern on ABC, number 29, Washington State, who's fallen out of the top 25 after back-to-back losses, takes on number 9, Oregon. And I thought this was a really interesting game to talk about because you do have to worry about the mindset of the Oregon Ducks. after that tough 36-33 road loss as a 3-point dog at Washington. But that's only their first loss. It's a quality loss. Their season is not over. I think they still bring their A game, and this is a focus spot for them, I think. Hopefully, I'm not wrong there because my simulation likes them, favors them by 27 points in this game. So there's tons of line value with Oregon at the current line of -20. And yes, Washington State does have that dreaded backdoor cover potential with an excellent passing attack that averages almost 9 yards per pass attempt, 34 points a game. But boy, have they looked bad the last couple of weeks. After that upset home win against Oregon State, they lost to UCLA. I mentioned it here on the video. I thought that was a good spot for UCLA a couple of weeks ago. And then last week, man, what happened? 7-point home favorite. They lose outright 44-6 to Arizona. Oregon's a really good team on both sides of the ball. And what's really underrated about Oregon is their pass defense. It's one of the best in the country this year. 5.5 yards per pass allowed against teams that average 7.6. So I think they match up well considering Washington State is one-dimensional. They cannot run the ball. They average just 3 yards a carry, just 94 yards a game on the ground. They're pass only, and now they're taking on an excellent Oregon pass defense. So if the Ducks come focused, and that is a concern, the line value in the matchup does favor Oregon -20 at 3:30 Eastern. And the one other game that's on the outside looking in here, two unranked teams, but I think the winner has a chance of getting ranked, and that's number 27 Clemson at number 35 Miami. Now, Miami maybe can't sneak in with a win. They were actually top 25 until this week. They just fell out. But Clemson, I think, probably gets back in the rankings if they win this game, and they are a 3.5-point road favorite. But I disagree with that line. I did a standalone solo video earlier this week here on WagerTalk TV, and I talked about the Clemson Tigers at +2.5 to +3 on Monday when I did the video. Now it's up to 3.5, a little bit of quarterback uncertainty there. But I do think Miami's still a very good team. You do have to worry about their mindset, though. Just like Oregon, Miami's coming off another tough loss. They had one of the worst losses in the history of college football 2 weeks ago. We talked about it here on this video last week. And, after not taking the knee and blowing that game as a 19-point favorite against Georgia Tech, Miami did come flat last week like I thought they would. Not only did I recommend North Carolina here on the video for you, but that was my free play of the week on my page at WagerTalk.com. And once again, check out my page for free college and pro football plays on Saturday and Sunday right now at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril. I went against Miami last week. They came flat on defense as expected. They gave up over 500 yards, 41 points to a very good North Carolina offense. But the flatness also showed on offense once again as they had 4 turnovers. They had 5 the week before, 4-0 turnover deficit last week, yet they only lost by 10. This is a very talented team still, and I do think they'll regroup and get up to play now at home against a big-name opponent like Clemson. Miami's not totally out of the ACC championship hunt, though, and I think that keeps them focused here. And my game simulation actually has them as a live dog in this one. My game simulation actually has them winning this game outright by 1 point. And once again, I think they're a quality live home dog. Both teams are good defensively. Clemson's a little bit better, obviously. But where Miami has a substantial edge is offensively. Clemson's a very mediocre offense, and that's why they're no longer a national title contender the last couple of seasons. They're averaging just 5.8 yards per play against teams that allow 5.7. Miami's averaging 7.4 yards per play. So much better offense, 2 good defenses. I like Miami here as a home dog if they're healthy at quarterback and if they come to play. So let's keep an eye on this game as we head closer to Saturday night. It's on ACC Network at 8 o'clock Eastern. All right, hey, there's 6 big games analyzed for you for free here on WagerTalk TV. Do me a couple quick favors. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up, a like, and comment below. I read all the comments and I reply back. I love the support. I honestly believe we have the smartest and sharpest sports betting viewers of any channel here, right here on WagerTalk TV. Let me know where you agree or disagree with these top 25 matchups, and more importantly, what other games you like as best bets, and leave some analysis. I love reading the inside and the analysis. Let's all learn and earn together here in Week 8 of college football. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell for instant alerts, when this video goes live each week, and also my NFL Fade the Public video, which will be ready for this weekend as well. And one final note, if you want to get my personal best bets, college football, pro football, baseball playoffs, all are ready right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And don't forget about the All Sports All Access specials this weekend. 7-day, 30-day, and 365-day discounts for you right now with special promo codes on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on WagerTalk TV.